Thank you. Gordana, come on up here. Ladies and gentlemen, Gordana Schifanelli.
Oh, it's actually about me. It says all about me. Well, it says that I'm a lawyer. It says I'm married to a former Army Special Forces officer. It says I grew up in a communist household in Belgrade, Yugoslavia. It's all true. For the first time, I'm reading something that's not a fake news. All true so far, all of which makes her powerful opponent in a battle in Maryland's Eastern Shore between forces of wokeness in Queen Anne's County. Oh my God, let me tell you about that. So 2 years ago, I'm not a politician. I hate politics. I hate politicians. And God has a weird way of making jokes with me. Now I'm here standing and running as Lt.Governor with Dan Cox. I mean, that would be the worst nightmare somebody would have told me. One day you're going to be in politics. Why am I so strange to that? It's because I speak the truth. And apparently, if you're a politician, you're supposed to speak in codes. Yeah. You're supposed to speak in a particular way where people won't even know what you really mean, what you mean. Let me give you the pledge. I'm going to be the one that's going to tell you the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God every single time. Amen. And every single moment. It's because that's who I am. When I grew up in a communist country, in my junior year high school, young communists came to recruit good students. And so my name was called up, and I had to stand up, and the young communists and the particular teacher standing behind them would say, okay, those of you who got called out, you can go outside and go participate in a socialist activities, so you don't have to sit in a class. And I said, well, where are we going? And they said, well, you could go and, do the organization of the young socialists to recruit other young socialists. And I said, well, I don't want to go there. I don't want to be a young socialist. What do you mean you don't want to be a young socialist? It's a part of the Communist Party. I said, well, that's okay. I'll just stay in the class. And they said, well, everybody wants to get out of the class. How come you want to sit in a class? It's because that's who I am. I'm against everything everybody, they're pushing everybody to do. I step back, and I'm not going until I know where we're going. And then they called my mother. The principal called my parents, and my mother came to school. And they said, your daughter is disgraced. She's not attending Young Socialist meeting. This is supposed to be an honor. And she's all the bad words you can think of. And my mother came home and said, you embarrassed us all. You've embarrassed us. You are a disgrace. How can you not go to the Young Socialist meeting? I said, because I don't care. I am the generation who doesn't want to be involved in politics. What's wrong with that? And my parents said, well, if you're not in politics, you will never have a job. If you never have a job, you're nobody. And if you're nobody, you're a disgrace. You'll die on the street or something like that. You're terrible. And I thought, that is the craziest thing to think of. I am an honor student. I'm all in Yugoslavia, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as grades as opposed to A, B, C's and D's. I said, I'm all 5s. I got all the good grades. What do you mean I am not a good student? Aren't you supposed to be a good student and a good worker and good expert in something, and then people will hire you because you know what you're doing or you're good at what you're doing? And they looked at me and said, you're so naive. In this country, you're either going to be in the party, the Communist Party, one and only party, or you're going to be nobody. So I said, well, I guess I'll be nobody. But I'm not joining the party. And I never joined the party. So the socialists and communists changing names or metamorphosis the chameleon switch between whether state owns you or the everybody else own you, is contrary to the natural rights. And the philosophy of natural rights and existence of natural rights dates very far back to even the Stoics and old Greeks. And it begins with the premise that we have, the human beings that are born in a cave, as gift from God, have these rights to fight for our survival, seek for shelter, raise family, and nobody can or should take these rights away. And the kings and the monarchs over the course of centuries have always tried to impede and impose on those rights.
That's right.
So every single time you hear that somebody, a government or a governor, tries to tell you
Yes.
how to eat, breathe, are you essential or you're not essential, how to raise your children, how to call your children, it is not only impeding in your intelligence, but it's impeding in your natural right
Amen.
to be a free person.
That's right.
That is not so, it's not repugnant just to our Constitution. It's humiliating
That's right.
to us as human beings.
That's right. That's right.
So that would be my background. And so then if I add to just a tiny bit of flavor that I am a granddaughter of a Holocaust survivor, and that today is the Holocaust Memorial Day,
Oh, wow.
for an example. But for me, the Holocaust Memorial Day is every day, because my grandmother is the only survivor from Odessa, Ukraine, during the pogrom. And the only reason she survived was because she was disobedient. Instead of being in the house, she's hanging outside. And as the Gestapo came and picked up the children from the street, they picked her up and shipped her to Buchenwald concentration camp. And the rest of the whole family was slaughtered and killed in pogrom in October 1942. She then, being disobedient, decided to escape from Buchenwald, walk across the Alps, cross over the Slovenian border into Yugoslavia. It's where the partisan resistance found her frozen. That was my grandma. And they recovered her, so here I am. So I may be called a disobedient, non-compliant person, but that's what I am. I never follow the rules. So when 2 years ago, I received a note from the superintendent that she is recruiting children to join her and Black Lives Matter organization, who then I quickly looked at my phone and I realized that they are Marxist organization, as it was stated on the website, of their own website. The flashback came back to me. I thought it only happened in Yugoslavia, that the socialists and communists are coming to recruit children. Here it is, I'm getting on my phone. Superintendent, join me to protest against the police and Black Lives Matter organization. Just as it came to my phone, Sharon's here, she knows, everybody got that letter. And so she thought she could get away with it because she was black. Over my dead body she would. No one recruits children. As social justice warrior, I don't care what your color.
Yeah, that's right.
You leave the kids alone. And that became the struggle and the fight in my county. No one is supposed to use their political perspective to indoctrinate children. And at that time, he was just a kid. I was interested. And that was a mission back then 2 years ago, and I haven't stopped. I organized at the time Island Patriots, Maryland Patriots, and we grew up so fast with numbers that the Facebook got scared and they shut us down. Of course, they shut down my practice. They shut down my personal page. They shut down my Instagram. They shut down the entire, even WhatsApp that I didn't use much. But because it's owned by Zuckerberg, everything got shut down. And that was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. So we succeeded in Queen Anne's County to remove the Board of Education that was Hogan appointed. All Republicans. The social justice warrioring and political indoctrination was going on for the last 8 years and no one paid attention, including me. And shame on me. I couldn't think in the wildest dream that I would have to fight for the very freedom and for the freedom to express your opinions, the First Amendment, for the Bill of Rights, for the natural rights in the most free and the freest country on earth.
Jeez, I know. What a nightmare.
What is that? Indeed, what a nightmare. From Yugoslavia that got bombed, I came here in hope that at least my generation and the children that I have here with my husband would live in peace. Instead, we are in the middle of a wireless cultural, political, and economic storm. And anybody that thinks we are living in a wonderful, idealistic economy, that we're number one economy on earth, is delusional, misinformed, and more importantly, is lying to you in your face. Because we are far from any of these things. If we destroy our children, we are destroying our future.
That's right.
And I know we have been destroying our children for the last 20 years is because I've lived here for 23 years. When my son started first grade, no child left behind policy was Bush policy. I don't care whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. This is the fight for survival of our republic.
That's right.
This has nothing to do with the party.
That's right.
This is the ideological war. Whether we should be part of globalist progressive herd or whether we will be a nation with borders, law, order, and constitution.
Amen.
That's what we are facing. So anyone that's telling you that we're doing great, we're not. Anyone that's telling you that our children are the smartest, they're far from it. OECD runs every single year statistical data on the success of students all over the world. The United States students are the bottom quintile for the past 20 years. That's when I started looking into the data. And OECD runs the tests in English. Other nations are responding to the test questions that are written in English. We are the bottom quintile in English. When my son started school, he started at No Child Left Behind, and that was the curriculum at the time. And very early, right when he was the first grade, he developed twitches. First grade, first semester, he develops twitches. So I thought that's a developmental issue. But then it became so terrible that he was shaking his shoulders to the point that he couldn't even play soccer. So I was Googling what's causing twitches. And the doctors told me, the pediatrician said it's from stress. I said, how can a first grader have stress? What kind of stress can he have? Well, I went to visit and audit the class. And I sat down with the rest of the first graders. And I remember it was a circle time. And there was a teacher sitting there, and everybody are sitting around, and they're moving around. But the language art class was 3 hours long. I thought I was going to scream. Who in their right mind can sit still for 3 hours in a language arts class? Our students till this day today are sitting in language arts class for 3 hours. I don't like that. Because when I went to school, the class was 45 minutes and you go outside and run. I had 14 subjects in school, 14 different subjects. Monday schedule, Wednesday schedule was the same, Tuesday schedule, and Thursday schedules was the same. And then Friday was an alternating schedule with classes, all different classes. Every class 45-minute long. It was so well done that I learned to speak to you in my third language in this manner, because we started early. By the age of 4.5, we were learning English. By the age of first, second grade, we were learning another foreign language. Mine happened to be Russian, because that was my school district. Other school districts had German, French, and any other language they wanted to speak. We're the largest and the wealthiest country on earth. Our kids can't even speak English properly. Not only that, but they're going to be taught in school bad English. Then instead of he or she, they're going to be they or they or something else. It's bad as it is, but the thought that it can go worse, it got worse. And it gets worse and worse by the minute. When Philip started middle school, that's my middle boy, they had Common Core. Instead of memorizing times tables, they're doing some stupid triangles. And I was like, what are you doing, kid? You just stand right here, put your hands straight up, and start 6 times 7. 7 times 7, 7 times 8, 7 times, let's try it again. Just do the simple, old-fashioned times tables. It's not that bad. We were memorizing poems from Russian authors, English authors, British authors in Yugoslavia, in that terrible communist country. But the children here are getting dumbed down. Nobody's child is learning logic. That's the first class they threw out. Why? Because if you know logic, you can think clearly. You can make logical and illogical fallacies, and you can catch the dummies talking to you. And you can tell them, excuse me, that's called red herring. Instead, our kids are learning nothing. And for 8 years, and the 8 years before, there's no difference between Hogan administration and O'Malley administration. We've been going down a hill in education for over 20-something years. There is critical theories in our schools, through PE education classes, through history class. Even in my school, we didn't even know, in my county, that the kids mandated to watch CNN for 10 minutes. History class, they watch CNN. You have to be brain dead to do this to kids. But they're doing it. And the kids don't even know better. They don't even know better. You know, I come from a city that is 7,000 years old, 7,553 years old city. It's been a capital city the entire time. And it's supposed to be the oldest capital city on earth, Belgrade. Rome is 2,700 years old, so you can imagine times 3. Freedom always wins. Let me tell you that. Freedom always prevails. Freedom always wins. The question is when. If we lose the fight for our children, it's going to be on them to fight for their own survival and our grandchildren or their children. But freedom will always win. It's our duty and responsibility to take this election so seriously, because it's unlike any other time in history that we are dealing with evil. And we're dealing with not just politics as usual. This is nothing like politics as usual. This is evil that's going straight towards the most innocent and pure that exists on this earth, and that's our kids. And if we don't give every single inch of our body to fight for our kids, not only that we will lose Maryland and our country, but our children will lose their freedom. Because the forces of evil to create a globalist movement that is going to eradicate borders, that's why the borders are wide open, that is going to turn the population to an ignorant herd that can be controlled with new technology. They're creating zombies, and they're trying to create zombies. Because it's unnatural to have a drag queen, and it's unnatural to have a confused kids not which bathroom to use. Everybody knows, since they were born, which bathroom to use. So we're literally denying the children the right education. We're denying them opportunity to think, to challenge the authority, to analyze, to be curious. We're dumbing them down. And we can gut this whole mess and start from the beginning by cleaning up our State Board of Education.
Oh, yeah.
Number one. The time has come. We kicked the buck down the road for over 20 years, and now the time's on us. It's all on us. When it comes to our economy, Maryland represents 66% of all people in Maryland work either for federal, state, or local government. What happened to small businesses? What happened to those dreams? Let me try something, see how it works. Let me try these let me tries are what made America, America. Those pilgrims that went and escaped to America did exactly that. Let me try. You know, when I came here with nothing but a backpack with my diplomas on my back, I went to Merrill Lynch in downtown Baltimore, 100 East Pratt Street. I was the youngest financial advisor. And the boss at the time, Mr. Franks, said, how do you think you're going to build practice? You don't know anybody. How are you going to convince people to give to you all of their life savings so that you can manage their portfolio? So I looked at him and I said, oh, I don't know. How did everybody else do it? And he said, well, they went to school here. They have family members here. They have history here. You're from nowhere. Turn around, and there was the yellow pages and the big phone book. I grabbed the phone book and I said, I'll just use the phone book. I'll find people through phone book. And he thought I was joking. I wasn't. For 3 years, I was calling people from that phone book. Started with Abel, all the way to Raymond. There's so many Abels and there's so many Raymonds. I can tell you exactly where they live. And I was calling them in Montgomery County, by the way. Sorry, it was me. Because I lived in Montgomery County for the first 3 years after my arrival to the States. Not only that I built my book of business, but I was the top advisor by Reuters that I was named in 2009. Woo! And that just tells you, even with this accent, and even nothing but your own determination and knowledge separates you from the rest. Nothing we do is more important right now than lives of our children. Right. All the money on earth will not be good enough if we don't preserve our kids.
That's right.
Nothing's worth more than lives of our kids. So, you know, I've been pounding for 2 years, county by county by county by county, and telling everybody, please take a good grip of your Board of Education. Please make sure you have patriotic Americans, those that are not compromised, those that are not playing politics. This is over. The games are over. Time's out, game's over. There's no more playing politics. Because this time playing politics means playing with lives of our kids.
That's right.
You can't do that. That's a red line, you can't do that. We can't play games with kids. We can't play games with them. I mean, before you can play games with economics and you can say we are number this, we're number that. But when it comes to the lives with the kids, there's no more playing politics. It's the dead truth that is. I mean, we can do so much. This is the time to do it. The question that I always get is, well, how are you going to win in the Democrats? You know, we're all blue, we're all this, we're all that. We're going to be all nothing if we don't preserve our lives and our kids. Nothing. The Democrats don't want stupid kids. Republicans don't want stupid kids. Independents don't want stupid kids. Everybody wants smart kids. Honestly, I come in from another world. A European education system is far superior from elementary school to the university. Once you know what you want to study, then you come to the States and you do narrow specialization like the law. But when it comes to getting broad knowledge, broader education, it is far superior, and only because it opens up the doors to so many different things. So the kids can try, triggers their curiosity. 45 minutes and the class is over, you go outside playing. Something else, 45 minutes, class is over, you go play. And then kids start looking, well, I like that class, or I like that class. For example, here we have science. I asked my son, would you have science? About what? What do you mean science? Biology, chemistry, physics, science what? No, we have to have one 45-minute biology class. I'd like to see one 45-minute chemistry class. I want to see 45-minute physics class. Slowly but surely, 45 minutes, and then do another class, do something else. Nothing too much so that they get bored and start jumping around, and then the teachers deciding that they are ADD and diagnosing children. We can't have that. The teachers have been diagnosing our children that they are ADD and ADHD. How does this even make sense? No, we need to have enough time to keep their attention when they're little, and then give them a chance to play cops and robbers, unless that's becoming racist or something. Because somebody said you can't point the finger to shoot. Somebody was playing around that they were shooting cops and robbers, and the teacher said you can't point fingers. We need to let kids be kids. Play tag, or whatever. Just let the kids run, burn that energy, and then go back another 45 minutes to another class. When it comes to cafeteria and food, has anybody visited the cafeteria? Pigs don't eat that. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Pigs don't eat that. How can we expect them to be healthy and to pay attention if they're eating not just junk, but like, it's disgrace.
Michelle Obama did that.
Well, that was another experiment.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama did that. That was an experiment. So I have 3 kids. All 3 went through 3 different experiments. And the only thing that saved their grace is having a family, me at home, like every single day asking them, show me what you did. Show me what was going on today. I don't know, I have homework, you don't have homework. Show me what you did. And you know, I asked one of my kids, my oldest is a recipient of National Early Commissioning Program from the U.S. Army. And he's at Valley Forge Military College. He's doing pre-law, all 4 years covered. And I said to him, Nick, can you tell me, since now you're 20, tell me what was most helpful to you when you guys were kids. What did I do that you can tell me was helpful for you, for your school? He said, making us do math during summer break.
Yeah.
I would go to Barnes and Nobles, pick up a book, and they were forced to do summer break, no summer break, a couple of months. They had to do an hour of math homework. Because I gave them, this is what you have to do, and unless they finish, they can't get out of the table. And math homework was just to keep their mind, keep their brain busy. And he said, Mom, just forcing us to do math homework every summer break. He said that was the most helpful. The second guy is Philip, and he's both, Senator Van Hollen has sent a nomination for him for the Air Force Academy, and my Congressman Harris gave him a nomination for the Naval Academy. One of the best kids, 4.0 students. When I told them I expect them to have all A's, they didn't think I was serious. So one day they would get a B and bring B home. And I would say, that's terrible. And my kids were like, Mom, 86 is good. I said, no, that's not good. It's okay, but it's not good. And he would say, but 86 is okay. Other students got. I said, I don't care about other students. I don't care about numbers. You must bring me 100% because I know you can. That's my expectation. You must bring me 100%. So what I tell all the kids, what I tell all the people, you have to give 100% from yourself to anything you do. If you want a quality result, if you want to achieve something, I tell that to my kids, I tell them to you, I tell them to the campaign people, you have to give 110%. Why? Because we can. Because we're Americans. Because we can do whatever we want. Not only that we can achieve whatever we want, we can make the best education on earth, not to be satisfied with what we've got right now. We need to have the courage to step out of, oh, okay, well, just another election, and to get a grip and stand up and say enough is enough. We didn't pay attention 20-something years or longer. This is the time, and we're going to do it. What I see from the field is what I see everywhere. Room packed like this. That means that people are ready. It's not normal. We have two genders. It's not normal to go after the kids. We have responsibility to go after and protect them. We are the adults in the room after all, right?
Yes.
And we can do it. Everything else will come. Economy will come. Everything else will come. Culture will come with it. We have to be the leaders of New Maryland.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I told you, I never lie. I never lie. Okay.